In this episode we will find out how the key procedure of that kind of photography, as well as in other kinds of it, is taking place. Microscope objectives, when used with tube lenses, therefore as they exist in microscopes, have very narrow depth of field, which means that they get tuck focus in a very small part of their object. Thus we use a technique called focus stacking. Let's take a closer look in our specimen. At this point, the red pixels represent the pixels of our specimen that are in focus. The focus stacking technique consists of two different phases. The first one is taking multiple frames, each one of them with moving the object or the camera. In our case we move the camera by very small increments, and the second phase is stitching them in a specific for that job inside a computer program. This way, by taking the sharpest increments and combining them together, we get as a result the sharpest possible image. In that point I must refer a plethora in fact mechanisms that are made for the focus stacking job. Several hand-moving sliders, which include from cheap Chinese in majority ones, Russian ones escalating as we go on in the top ones, like the Real Right Staff and the Felbin one. While going on we meet the Wemicro one and many handmade ones, basically based on Arduino circuits, which have as their limit only the fantasy of their maker. Anyway, that theme is so vast that could by itself be a base of a separate video. The stack shot slider moves by a distance which we will discuss later and called step, waits for the vibrations to stop, and then shutters the trigger to take the photo. Then as you watch repeats the sequence from the beginning. Serene Stacker has the graphical option through our computer to operate the stack shot in all its functions. In that screen, as you can see, each function is referred as it happens. Also the current step, as much of the other components of the stack. First of all, we have to understand the meaning of the term. We call step the distance two consecutive images should have during the shooting, in order the final image to have the wished resolution. There are many formulas in the net, estimating the step we should follow, even charts or tables. Applying them in every stack did not give me exact results, and in everyday practice I found out that one must have one formula for starting and go on with experimentation to decide the step for his stack. The magnification we apply plays a critical role in the determination of the step. The farther we go in magnification, the more steps we will need. Bugs Labber is a utility that is splitting the stack in substacks, or as they called slabs. That way it is easier for the Zerine to process the stacks. In fact, the result is better. I had no luck with other utilities like Zerine VS or Slabber Jockey that are supposed to make similar work. It is certainly helping, and with the very powerful retouching option Zerine has, you should learn to use it. As for certain imperfections, there is no alternative. I have at this point to specify that it is a standalone program, and if you find it useful you can make a donation of $5 or more on behalf of Mr. Bill Eldridge to Science Club for Girls at scienceclubforgirls.org. In the last chapters we described the focus stacking procedure. With the term focus shifting we mean when all the focusing happens inside the lens and not by shifting the camera or the object. Of course this cannot happen with infinite corrected objective lenses, but that is not the theme of that video.